I feel like I should start the series as a new thing. Should I call it my social media journey? That's what it will be for now. Where do I start the story? So this is kind of like a episode, but more than that, it's kind of like a journal for my journey on social media because I've been trying different things. Like I've tried to launch a workshop, I've tried to do my episode podcasts, tried to do something more structured, but nothing was really like it's exciting to do. And at the same time, it just wasn't, maybe it's part of my struggles. It just wasn't it. That's what I was going to say. And that phrase is something that I personally struggle with some sort of, it's not exactly perfectionism, but it's like not quite right what I want to do. But there's a difference between trying and figuring out that it's not it and versus imagining that it's not it. Because when I made some of the videos, like episodes, I had a good time just yapping. Same thing with making the structured videos. I really like learning, and I was doing my own research about the research on relationships and things like that. And I want to share that in a structured way. And so I tried 2 weeks of making structured YouTube videos, and it didn't work for me. Not in the sense that it didn't work. It got some views. I can show you the info, but basically, uh, I was not satisfied with the workflow, the storytelling, the prep work. It wasn't something that I felt could be sustainable. Perhaps, so these are the conversations I have with my coach. Like, there's these thoughts that I have that are preventing me from doing it. I still enjoy it, but it's not landing quite yet. Like, it's not, I don't know how to explain it. That's when you usually want to be coached. When you have a hard time explaining why you don't like something and why you don't do something, it keeps you stuck because it often prevents you from taking action. But what happened for me was I was actually doing it. I was talking with my coach and we were working through these mental blocks and I was producing things. I was producing my podcast. I was producing these structured episodes. And then I came across on my Facebook one of my old friends hosting a workshop about improving social media presence, like growing an audience. And I got to reconnect with her, and I think she's such a creative person, and she is not afraid to try things. And she got me hooked, or she persuaded me to try shorts, basically, like reels and shorts, short form versus long form. She's just like, long form is very difficult, but short form is an easy way to get started and develop an audience. Even in that process, I got stuck because I was just like, because she was basically trying to say that when you're getting started, and especially if my goal is to get clients for relationship coaching, I don't need to reach a bajillion people. I just need to reach a few, right? Like the few who are willing to work with me. So niche down and have a goal in mind and target a specific audience, right? Just be very strategic about how you use your social media. And again, something was not landing as I'm trying to create social media content in a short form for these people. I'm just like, basically, the stuff going in my head is, I don't know how. I'm thinking of different things, and I was working on it with my friend over text. I was just like giving ideas, and she's just like, it doesn't quite land. And I felt that too as I'm creating these things. And so instead, I decided, let's do the thing that's by far the easiest thing to do. Like, what is the easiest way for me to produce content without much planning, without much effort? I don't even know if effort's the right word. It's still work, but it's like, let's cut down all the complexities. Basically, what I came up with was I decided for myself, I need to practice and let's set a goal. And I think it was kind of ambitious. I decided to do 100 story challenge. Basically, short stories about my life and post 100 of them, one per day. And so I literally, for one day, I sat down and wrote 25 ideas. The next day, I wrote down 50 ideas. And that's kind of where I stopped because some of the ideas I was thinking there would be multiple parts to it. And every time I got a new idea from the day or something popped up in my mind, I would take note of that. And so I have this list on one, like I use Notepad. And so I can show you that too. I have Notepad. I write all the story ideas down. And then on another notepad, I write the script for it. And so I can kind of show you what that looks like. But basically, that's what I've been working on this week. I've been working on making the first reels. I made 2 reels on Friday and scheduled them to release Saturday, Sunday. And I was just like, what platform? It's just like, doesn't matter. Just shotgun. Just throw it everywhere, see how it performs. So I did Facebook, like a Facebook page I made. I tried TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And so the YouTube shorts are part of this channel. And so I'm trying to document. So basically, the purpose of this video is to document my journey, right? One of my reels is kind of blowing up. Not crazy, but much more than I expected it to. And so currently, it's like, let's see if I refresh this page. Yeah, currently it's at 2,000 views. And surprisingly, I didn't expect it, but my upload that I did this morning is actually almost at 1,000 views as well. My other ones did not perform as high. And it's really interesting because there's so many things I'm trying to work through. I'm trying to figure out how to, maybe it's better to show it with an example, but basically, my first video, I don't think like the title fit the screen properly. And so I don't know how to describe it. Basically, I'm trying different things and trying to figure out how to make the video work. And it's evolving. That's the easiest way to put it. As I'm trying things, it's evolving. And as I'm getting some success in my latest two videos, it's like, what about them was working? And right now, my preliminary analysis is basically all of these stories are real stories that happened in my life. And I'm learning to storytell. Obviously, there are certain topics that are more intriguing and interesting to people. I don't know if I'm going to niche down even further to tell stories like that, but I think there's a way to learn from the success of these videos in a way that I can make my other videos interesting. I'm still working out different things, but for this week, it was literally just tell stories. Just tell stories and learn on the way. And to be fair, I have been listening to podcasts and other videos, especially videos from my friend, sharing tips and tricks on how to improve your videos and how to make like thumbnails and content more interesting to people. For example, especially with shorts, you can see in the analytics after the first 3 seconds, the engagement drops because people are skipping it. And the successful videos, I don't know about these, but the whole point is you want to hook people in and keep them there. And so there's just some rules and human behaviors that you can't avoid. And the more you're open and willing to learn, the less resistance I find myself in terms of like, oh, like I want to do this, but the algorithm doesn't support it. I think it's less about the algorithm. It's more about what are people likely to watch? What kind of videos people are likely to watch? And so where am I going with this? Before I was like thinking about how I wanted to tell a story my way. But clearly, I'm not the best, like, I'm not a professional storyteller. There are better ways to do it. And if I were to insist on doing it my way and judge everyone else for not recognizing how good my story is, this actually reminds me of another story about when I was doing my PhD. My professor said, you know, in the beginning, when you do your research, especially and you're not tenured yet, you kind of need to do research that other people find value in. And then once you're tenured, you can do the research that you want to do. And I thought to myself, that is a long and many years of doing things that other people want. And yes, that's a true statement. However, it's one of those things where even when you're doing research, you do have to prove to others why your research is valuable. And that's part of storytelling as well. It's telling them the context and telling them what the problem is and buying in their emotional connection towards this problem. It's like, oh, I do see the value in this research. And then you get funded, right, with grants. And so the videos that are doing well right now, it seems like the more they're able to relate to me, the better the video performs. And again, there's no stories I'm conjuring up out of nowhere. It's not fictional. And I think that helps, especially when you're starting. I am just making videos that are just about me. And I think embarrassment factor, I don't really care, honestly, because these stories are all in the past. It's not stories that are happening now. And it's one of those things where like, like sometimes when you go through a hard time or something weird and then like you're suffering, but then like later you laugh about it. Not all the time. A big trauma you probably wouldn't laugh about. But that's also what comedians do too, right? Like it's this idea of take something that's serious and dark and maybe tough, but create a story out of it and lighten your mood through it. Help other people's laugh through it too who are going through the same thing. And so I think that's a very specific skill that really helps people connect. And that's what I basically want to do as a coach as well, is just really connect with people, right? That's why I thought, fortunately, this was such a strategic way to connect with people and build an audience this way. And I made sure that despite the stories, I made sure that my username had the word coach in it. So they know that it's my first video said I'm a relationship coach, but my other videos don't. And so, yeah, this week, definitely the first week, I am trying just to publish videos, just practice. And after this, I guess, the beginning of the success that's happening right now, I am trying to be a little bit more intentional about connecting it with relationship coaching. We'll see how that goes. And I think that's the point of this exercise is, can I produce videos every day? Right now, the goal is 2 per day and see what is working. And if it flops, that's okay. That's just the nature of shorts. I can make more videos and hopefully it will do better. right? Like it's kind of like one of the things where like I'm not afraid of the algorithm. If I was starting and then one video popped off, that means that the algorithm picked up something good about that video. And so if I fall off again because of the algorithm, that means I like it doesn't matter because as long as I put a good video out, the algorithm will pick it up, right? It's not about like, oh, I have to consistently post amazing videos. At least that's my opinion. Whatever I believe is basically how I'm probably gonna behave. And so if I believe that, oh, the algorithm sucks, then I'm gonna probably make videos in which the algorithm recognizes it kind of sucks. It's like self-fulfilling prophecies. And so it's more like I'm trying things. If it fails, that's okay. I'm gonna try to make good videos and see how well they do. Oh, I kind of sidetracked. One of the things I noticed, even making videos for more closely relating it to relationship coaching, that was so much harder to create, like the scripting and the storytelling. But it's like the right enough amount of challenge from telling personal stories to be conscious of that connection that I want to make with relationship coaching. And so that's my next step. And if it doesn't go well, I can always fall back in the old way. But the point is, I can try stuff. I can try different things. And the dopamine is definitely there as I'm seeing the likes and different things come up. People sometimes comment. You see the statistics of people sharing, liking, saving the posts, and different things. And I'm not here to get addicted to social media, but the idea is use the analytics to see what works and what doesn't. And the goal here, again, is to create an audience. And I don't need a million people. I just need enough people who get to know me, who are in a position that see it's like advertising. The more they see you, the more they're likely to turn to you if they need that service. And so for me, as I provide relationship coaching, the more they see me, the more they get to know me, they may feel more comfortable coming to me when they have a relationship topic that they want to be coached on. I don't want to make this video that long because long videos are hard to edit. As I was doing my episode and podcast, that's the one thing I learned. It's just like, these podcasts take so long to edit. Eventually, maybe I could hire an editor, but I don't want to. Right now, it's a one-man business, one-man effort. And so I have to make things work for me. I've gotten so much better at editing. I've been so much faster. I've been using, and there's so many things I want to talk about. One of the things that's been extremely helpful is there's plenty of apps out there that do automatic captioning. And so I don't have to do that myself. Basically, I'll go over the captions, the placement, the size, the font, the colors, or whatever. But the text itself and the placement has been automatic. And making small adjustment, it's not that hard. That's been definitely a lifesaver. And that's only possible because of AI right now. And so there's definitely aspects of AI that's very good. And I'm sure there's definitely parts of AI that's terrible. And that's, I think, the truth of all technology. Am I going anywhere with that? Not really. And so before I sidetrack even further and talk about other stuff that doesn't really matter, that's what I was up to this week. This is my first week of doing short form stories. And considering the small success that I have right now, I can foresee it doing well in the future. And so, yeah, feel free to reach out to me if you want to talk more about getting started, especially if you're telling stories about yourself, right? I think the reason, dang, I'm going like further again. The reason I love telling stories, I think that one of the reasons why it's easy for me to post these stories about myself is because I often share my stories with my friends, especially my dating ones. I've already done it. I'm just getting better at it. To getting better for every post or trying things and learning from them. So with that, I don't know, what's my sign out? If you made it for the, it's usually, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. I really appreciate you joining me on my journey as I'm trying to build this coaching business, but now as I'm trying to build this social media presence to build a client base. And so thank you. I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.